First up this morning, have you heard of Whole30? It is not a diet. It's not about weight loss necessarily. It is a lifestyle that has helped millions of people reset their health, their habits, and their relationship with food.
Participants of Whole30 reported improved energy, sleep, mood, digestion, athletic performance, and the list goes on and on and on. So joining us now is the creator of Whole30. It's Melissa Hartwig Urban. She started this phenomenon back in 2009, and now she is a 6-time New York Times bestselling author and is out with a new cookbook, which is called the Whole30 Friends and Family 150 Recipes for Every Social Occasion, including tailgating and game day. So we're excited to have you here on the Morning
I'm excited too. I'm in my Packers green because when I packed for this trip, I was really crossing my fingers for you.
That's okay.
We're
still feeling it. So.
Yeah, exactly. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, it was good forethought.
Thank
you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this. I know tons of people that have done Whole30, but for some people who haven't, they've heard the term, but they don't really know what it is. So is Whole30 a diet, and how does it work?
It's kind of the anti-diet. So it's not a weight loss program, it's not a cleanse, it's not a detox. It is a 30-day reset for your health, habits, and relationship with food. So you know how every dietitian in the world says there's no one size fits all, you have to figure out what worked for you, and then people say, okay, cool, how? Whole30 is the answer.
So how does it work? What do you do? Because it's in essence an elimination series, right?
Exactly. It's based on the framework of an elimination diet. So you are pulling out for 30 days foods that the clinical literature and our experience have shown can be really problematic. At the end of those 30 days, you'll put those foods back in one at a time very carefully and systematically and compare your experience. So if you pull out dairy and your skin clears up, and then you add it back in and you break out, that gives you really valuable information about how that food works for you.
Yeah.
One of the big things to eliminate with the Whole30 is sugar. And it was interesting because I read about your story growing up. You grew up eating family meals each night. But a big thing you said, your mom kind of led the way with giving up sugar, candy. She wasn't big on fast food. And that sort of gave you an early, some good early habits.
It did. I didn't know it at the time. Of course, at the time, I just wanted my Pepsi and Snickers and what all the other Lucky Charms that the kids were eating. We couldn't have any of that. But it did give me a really good foundation. We had meat and vegetables every single night. We sat together as a family and ate dinner. I did go through a little Rumspringa in college where I ate a lot of candy and drank a lot of soda, but that modulated pretty quickly, I think, because I had that good foundation.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's interesting when you eliminate certain things. I feel like a lot of people don't even realize they have digestive problems until they change something and they notice, oh, I don't have that anymore or whatnot. What is food freedom? Because that's one of the things you coin, and I just think that's such an interesting term.
Yeah, so anyone can do anything for 30 days, right? You white knuckle your way through it, or it's like a challenge, or you see it as a self-experiment. It's what happens after that's really important. And what we call that period is your food freedom, where you take what you've learned on the Whole30, you know what foods are worth it for you and what are not, and you create your own set of rules to create the perfect sustainable diet for you.
How did you pick the 30 foods? Because I mean, that's really narrowing it down.
Well, it's not 30 foods, it's 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, 30 foods would be intense.
The food list is very exclusive.
It's based on research that was done quite a long time ago in terms of inflammatory factors. Particularly, it started with rheumatoid arthritis. There are certain foods that can promote inflammation in the body, and my co-founder was studying the effects of these foods on RA. That kind of led to all of this research into literature that with foods that can be problematic for digestion, for immune system, for cravings, as I experienced, and also for your blood sugar regulation.
So what I like is that you say you're not eliminating these foods because they're bad. It's really to find out what is good for you and how to work with them. So what specific foods are you eliminating? Molly mentioned sugar. You mentioned kind of dairy. What else are you taking out?
Yeah, you're eliminating all forms of added sugar just for 30 days, all forms of alcohol for 30 days, and then grains, so wheat, rye, barley, corn, rice, dairy for 30 days, and also legumes like beans, peas, and peanuts.
Can you eat potatoes?
Yeah, you're eating meat, seafood, and eggs, tons and tons of vegetables and fruit, lots of plants, natural healthy fats. And as you'll see when we get to the food demo, you're not starving on Whole30. We don't count calories or restrict calories on the program.
I like that, yeah, and we're gonna do a food demo here in a minute.
And that should make it easy for people. I like what you said too in an interview previously where somebody said, well, how can you sustain this kind of thing? And you said, it's not Whole365, it's Whole30. You know, what you're asking people to do really, if you think about it over the course of a long life, to kind of reset, as you say, is pretty brief.
It is, and I think people are so used to the framework of a diet where I am the expert and I tell everyone what to eat and my way is the only way, and it's based on restriction and weight loss and deprivation. This is a totally different animal. It's a 30-day self-experiment designed to help you figure this out, and then at the end of it, take what you've learned and create your own framework. So yeah, it's not meant to be sustainable. I don't want you to let me tell you what to eat forever, because that's not your food freedom.
Yeah, I like that. I love the food freedom.
Yeah,
and I think it's hard for those 30 days, but what you end up with is extremely important information. So okay, so we're gonna move over to a cooking demo. And I know that here's the deal. I believe in your new book, there's also desserts.
For the first time.
For the first time ever. There is a book signing tonight. We'll give you this information again, but it's at Boswell Book Company on Downer. It's free, but you do have to register. WHOLE30MKE.pbt.me is the website to register. Make sure you do that because it is free. It's at 7 o'clock tonight. But there's a limited amount of space. So.
And I'm glad we're over here because one of the
so
things
good.
I wanted to mention is that there's something like 150 recipes, and these recipes are truly incredible. These things look absolutely delicious, and they're for birthday parties or, like we mentioned, Super Bowl parties, baby showers, barbecues, all those tough times when you're socializing. And you've got Creole shrimp, you've got lime garlic hot wings, roasted pepper garlic cashew hummus. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yes.
Delicious.
I don't want you to have to compromise your health commitment in order to be social. And so I wanted to show people all of the ways that you could have delicious, satisfying, like familiar foods on a Whole30 framework. Nobody at your party would say, this is weird diet food. Like, this is delicious. They're probably gonna ask you for the recipe.
Okay, so what did you bring today?
So here what I'm demoing is our taco breakfast casserole. So on the night of the big game, you're gonna be up late, it's gonna be exciting. You want a good, hearty, filling breakfast for the next morning. You
Ready
make
to
this
go.
ahead, pop it in the fridge. So we've got ground beef and onion here. We're gonna whisk up some eggs.
Do you have to watch fat? Is there a certain lean count of the meat, or it doesn't matter?
No, we want you to eat natural, healthy fats because it's satiating and it's actually healthful.
Good.
So we've got this like lean ground beef and onions. We've got a mix of spices, including cumin and cayenne and chili powder that we're gonna dump into the eggs.
Okay.
We've got some salsa. You can find Whole30 compliant salsa at any grocery store, which is really nice and easy.
Okay.
And some salt. We're gonna whisk this all together. So it's like salsa eggs with this delicious ground turkey base.
So do you give like a name of a salsa? Because I think it's hard to find salsas without sugar.
It's actually not too bad. What you do have to do on Whole30 is read your labels. And people become label reading ninjas, but that serves you.
Our producer's
in life
fiance
after.
did it, and he said the same thing. You get really good at reading labels.
And isn't that a really good thing? Because you want to know what's in your food. Companies sneak sugar into all kinds of stuff that you would never imagine.
Well, and a note about sugar and the Whole30. Some people will think that natural sweeteners like honey, for example, maple syrup are okay. And those are things you can add in later on. But those are not things that are included in the Whole30, those 30 days.
You know, the brain, habit research shows that black and white rules are actually easier for the brain to process. So when I say no added sugar, that means if there's sugar in the ingredient list, it's out. And you're going to have to do a little searching, and it might be a little frustrating once you realize how much stuff has sugar in it.
It is hard.
But once you find your brand of salsa or ketchup or mustard or mayo, it's easy. You just go back to it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
What
right.
are we looking at there?
That's the finished taco breakfast casserole.
this
Yeah,
looks so
yeah. We've baked
good.
it in the oven now. It's this really light kind of crustless frittata.
What's on top here?
Well, that's just the
that's
baking
all the
process. There's
baking.
salsa
Look at that.
right mixed into the eggs. You serve it with some avocado, maybe a fresh berry salad.
Yum.
And look at the poppers.
Yes, that's
Those
our
look
take.
fantastic.
Yeah, so
What
again,
are these guys?
So, you know, jalapeno poppers are typically stuffed with cream cheese. We've stuffed them with a really filling ground turkey mixture. So lean ground turkey wrapped with bacon. I like to broil it a little bit at the end so the bacon gets a little bit crispy.
Yep.
Nobody is disappointed with
Looks
that
delicious.
appetizer.
Great. And that looks like chips and dip, but it's a little different than chips and dip,
Yeah, they're
right?
beet chips. So you've taken a mandolin and you've shaved some beets down. You can use any vegetable you like. And then it's an onion chive dip, a caramelized onion chive dip. But it's all Whole30 compliant.
Oh,
Wait, so do you buy the beet like this and then you shave them up and do it like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what I love about when you say Whole30 compliant is that means you can be in your 30-day window. You can be doing the reset and still have this fun and socialization.
Absolutely. And many people will make these in life after their Whole30 because they know it works for their digestion. They know they're going to feel great, during the party and the morning after, and they're such crowd pleasers.
Wait, what's in that dip? Because I thought you can't do dairy.
So it's mayo. So it's Whole30 compliant mayo, which is actually really easy to, or it's easy to make yourself. There's caramelized onions in there, which gives it the thickness. There's a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of ghee.
That is delicious.
I know, it's fantastic.
It's really good.
You won't miss the dairy.
You're not going to miss anything.
No.
If you get this cookbook, right? All right, here's the deal, because there's a book signing tonight at 7 p.m. You can meet Melissa, get a copy of her great book. It even includes desserts for the first time ever. It's at Boswell Book Company, which is located on Downer. It's a free event. They would like you to register, though. So what you need to do is go to whole30mke. You see it there, pbt.me to find out more. This is
delicious.
Fantastic.
I'm so happy you liked it. Thank you so
Such a
much
pleasure
for having
to have
me
you here.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. We appreciate it.